This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. Dieudonne Thomas Wilson joining us. We are excited to have her here as the amazing planner and owner of Immaculate Events, based out of beautiful Orlando, Florida. She specializes in so many wedding and event planning. And boy, oh boy, you got to see the work she does for so many people, including A-listers. I can't even explain this, but you have to see it for yourself. So first and foremost, welcome back. How are you today?
I am doing amazing. How are you, Jill?
I'm great, ecstatic. We got a holiday week here, so it's always good to give thanks, be grateful and thankful, and be with the family.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it as well.
Good. Tell us a little bit about the work you do. If someone's tuning in today who may not be aware, they're going to be in for a surprise, and then we'll get into specifics because your work is
Okay.
just immaculately beautiful.
Thank you so much. Immaculate Events is a wedding and event planning company based in Orlando. Like Jill mentioned, our clients are A-listers. We also work with busy professionals, entrepreneurs, as well as creatives alike. And, most people these days are busy planning their lives and trying to, of course, work and handle other things on a day-to-day basis. So typically they hire us to, take care of their celebrations so they can enjoy the day and be in the moment.
Beautiful. And for today, I know we're going to dive into bridal tips when planning to get ready for photos. Now, I got to ask this. Are people still doing photos the day of? I heard about some brides doing it the day or a few days before. So it doesn't it takes all that pressure and stress off for the day.
Well, I mean, I will tell you, our brides are still doing the day of.
Well, it's probably cheaper
But
that way, right? You got to do makeup twice, the glam squad twice, hair. Yes.
absolutely. And so they're still doing the day of, but we start the time earlier so that they have a chance to get in all of the get ready photos. That's the big thing these days where the couples want to sort of, I guess, journalize the whole process of them getting married, just from the beginning of the day of hair, makeup, little moments that they have with their bridal party and
Mm-hmm.
so that's very popular these days. So some of the things we often advise them to do is if they're getting
Of
ready at a
course.
hotel is just to be sure that there's enough space for them and whoever's getting ready with them. You don't want to be cramped in a little space and it's hot and you're sweating and all those types of things. So that is one of the number one things we ask them to make sure they do.
It. Now, also, you have to have enough rooms, and you got to approve the fact that you can use, right? Wherever you're getting taken pictures from.
Yes, absolutely. So if they're getting married, for example, a lot of them will book a hotel. And if they're going to be getting dressed there, I usually will tell them, make sure you can book the room the night before because early check-in might not be available. You don't want to go there and you're excited about your day. And then you get to the front desk and they tell you, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't check in yet. And then you've got this whole schedule for hair and makeup and all those types of things and photography ready. So we usually will tell them book the room the night before so that when you're in there early, you're less stressed, and then you can just wait for your hair, your glam team to arrive, as well as the photographer and videographer.
Well, that's another thing. Keep mentioning the word glam team. Does everyone have a glam team these days, or what?
I highly recommend it, but majority of them do. They typically will book hair and makeup on the day of and include their bridal party as oftentimes a gift. If for some reason they don't want to pay for it themselves, at the end of the day, these are your pictures that are going to be around forever, and you want everyone to look presentable in them.
And also, don't you usually hire the glam team to follow the bride all day?
Well, some brides don't, but I recommend it because, I mean, as you're going throughout your day, you definitely want to get those touch-ups. For those makeup artists that aren't going to stay around, they usually would leave a touch-up kit for the bride to touch up her makeup and, the lips, and so that she's got a consistent shade throughout the night and, is not going to look as if she's got totally different makeup on as she goes through out the day.
Got it. All right. So if everyone's getting ready, we're booking the rooms the night before, and also you got to make sure everyone has a start time, you say, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For the hair and makeup, we usually do a schedule. So
Hmm.
we want them to know what time they need to be ready in the room. Often night, the night before could be a little bit of a party sometimes. So we want to make sure they know if it's 5 a.m., you need to be there getting your hair and makeup started. Then we want to make sure they know you're there 5 a.m., you get started. And then that doesn't put the hair and makeup artist behind.
Got it. And by the way, you have access to, I'm assuming, different options for hair and makeup as well. You have access to, reach out to these people. And how do you suggest, to your clients who to use and how does that part work of deciding on that?
Well, oftentimes I ask them, what type of look they're looking for
Hmm.
on the wedding day. I also like to know, how many are in their bridal party, and also if there are, different individuals from various cultural backgrounds. You're going to want someone who's going to be able to do different types of hair, different, shades of makeup, those types of things. So we definitely have a wide a range of hair and makeup artists that we work with.
Beautiful. And also, what about photos themselves? Do you actually have, a plethora of photographers that you choose from as well that you suggest as part of the vendors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. For me, photography, I think also the look is one thing, but chemistry is also important because the photographer is actually with the bride more than we are on the wedding day. I mean, they're there every minute, capturing every second, every moment. So it's important that who I pair them with, that they have good chemistry.
Beautiful. And you say photographer, but isn't it really photographers, plural?
Photographers and lighting persons. I mean, usually the
Hmm.
photographer has a whole entourage
Now,
most
is the
times on the wedding day.
photographer also responsible for the video team, or they're two separate entities?
Well, sometimes there are photographers that offer both, but then if they don't, we usually will hire a separate videographer. And usually they tend to work pretty well together, even if it's a separate team.
And then I hear there's a whole separate team now for just social media photos and or videos. Is that true?
Yeah, and some of the videographers like it and some of them don't.
Oh, yeah, stepping on their toes. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just making sure that everybody has the big picture that we're all here for the couple is really important. The content creators want to capture what they're going to capture, but there's still nothing like your videographer
Yeah.
capturing your wedding day. So if they can just collaborate and work hand in hand, everybody get along, the couple get what they need, and everything should be fine.
Perfect. All right. What other details do we need to talk about here for as far as the bride is concerned? I know a lot to do with our clothes, our wardrobe. What happens there?
So definitely the dress and dresses for a bridal party if you're having maids of honors or bridesmaids. We definitely want to make sure those dresses are out of the bags. They're hanging and that they also have been steamed the day before or days before. We don't want to be there in the morning, trying to get hair done and makeup, and then now you're trying to steam the dress and all those things at the same time. So we want to make sure that that is taken care of the day before. If there is a man of honor, because the best friend could also be a male, then we make sure his suit or whatever he's wearing is, steamed and taken care of the day before as well.
And it sounds like a great idea for everyone to be in the same location the day before. Sometimes nowadays, I had a wedding to go to just last week and everyone just met there, but I wasn't in the bridal party. But still, I feel
Mhm.
like that could be a lot more chaotic the morning of trying to get there, rushing traffic, car issues. You just never know, right?
Absolutely. You just never know what could happen. You may just have one of those days that anything that could happen will happen on that day. So it's just much better if they're all in the same location.
Got it. And you also mentioned the importance of keeping detailed items in a location for the photographer to easily access. What items in particular are we talking about?
So nowadays, couples want to have photos of their invites. They oftentimes, if they're getting printed invites, they spent some money on them. So they definitely want to have photos of those. Usually on the female side, there's accessories. If you got these nice earrings, your engagement ring, those fabulous shoes that you purchased and paid all that money for, you want to get
That are going to
pictures.
kill your feet, but look so good. And you wear them one time, $1,000, $2,000 later. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to make sure you got pictures of those shoes and any type of sentimental items, whether there's a locket of maybe a loved one that's passed on or a parent or someone, or even your fur baby. Now that's the fur babies are included these days too. So
Really?
yeah, so if you've got like a locket or something, and because every venue is not pet friendly, so sometimes we have to pivot. the pet can't physically be there, but you can always do like a little locket and maybe carry it on your bouquet or something like that. And then it includes your fur baby in the wedding, but detailed photos of those types of things.
Got it. And you mentioned keeping your surroundings tidy. I could never do that. So who's helping out with that aspect? Is that part of the wedding planner? Because my stuff is everywhere. I need someone to hold my bags constantly, do stuff. Yeah, because I'm not like tidy at all.
So, what we do, our not all wedding planners offer, but we offer a concierge
Ooh.
assistant on the day of where that person is there with them during the whole get ready
Mm-hmm.
process, hair, makeup, and everything, and just making sure bridal party and whoever's there with them are moving their items as they're completing hair and makeup and just putting them away or moving them into another room if they're getting ready somewhere else, just so that we can keep the space clear and those items aren't showing up in the photos when the photographer is taking them.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks so much for that. Let's move on now, if we can. Talk a little bit about, or is there anything else you want to, cover for this? Any other suggestions before we go to some wedding tasks not to do yourself?
I would say for the getting ready photos, I know one of the more popular things nowadays too is also the first look as well. So if you're wanting to do a first look, make sure that buffer time is
What
in
is
your
the first
schedule so
look? I'm
that.
sorry.
Oh, okay. So the first look is well, once upon a time, the couple didn't see each other until they got to the aisle. So
Oh, yeah.
nowadays, you can see each other
Yeah.
prior to that, and then you can get all those nice photos so that you can enjoy your cocktail hour, and then you're not stressed, rushing. You can take your time, see each other. Those emotions can be captured, and then you can do all of your portraits up front rather than waiting until after you've had the ceremony to do that.
Wow. All right. Thanks for that. I wasn't sure what that meant. All right, cool. What else is on the list?
Also, there's the first look with dads now. So that's also a big thing where the bride will do a first look with her dad. So I would say the same thing if you're going to do something like that, buffer in time for that. If you're going to do those photos where there's the robe shot with your bridal party, make sure you buffer in enough time to do that as well. And any other details that you may want the photographer or videographer to capture, like if you're going to be gifting between the couples and reading some sort of note that's sentimental, you want to make sure those moments are also captured as well.
And let me ask, I mean, you've been doing this for how many years for people that just don't know your background, if you don't mind just sharing quickly?
20 years now.
Okay. Okay. And in the 20 years, would you say a lot has changed when it comes to the task of the bride and what they're more doing to now what they're not doing?
Oh yeah, things have definitely changed. There is things were much simpler. Let's just say that years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, now the bride, and then of course with social media and those types of things, there are so many more things. I mean, before you just ask your friend if she wants to be your bridesmaid, now you've got the proposal, process where you get this whole gift, you send it to them in the mail and they open it up and it says, will you be my bridesmaid with this beautiful gift? So, there are a lot, a lot more things that they're having to do that they didn't have to do before. It's like the expectation of more now.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the cake?
So, well, you know what? Some couples are actually opting not to have a cake, but then the full cake is kind of a thing now too, where you have your fake cake for presentation purposes because you want it to be pretty, and then you just have, cake in the back where you just can cut it up and serve it to your guests when it's time
Yeah.
to serve them.
Wow. All right. Interesting. And do they still do the garter and the throwing of the garter? Is that still old fashioned or does that still come into play?
Well, that's phased out pretty much. I rarely now get couples that want to do that. Some of the ladies are like, it's a little embarrassing to do that in front of my parents. I don't want you going under my dress. So, so a lot of them are like, no, we don't want to do that. So they're
Mhm.
more focused on entertainment these days, creating an experience for their guests to just really enjoy all of the special effects and those types of things.
And what about when it comes to the music? What are people doing for music? And I'm assuming this is part of your job to help book, right? I mean, back in the day, maybe
Mhm.
not, but tell me about the music choices and band compared to DJ, compared to do people have specific weddings with just one genre? Like, I think I would just want all country at mine. I wouldn't want the 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't like that stuff. But are people that picky? And you can be, right? Because it's your day.
Yeah, you can be that picky. We also ask them to kind of consider who's attending as well. Oftentimes, the DJs would do a planning session with them to kind of narrow down the music, like what types of music are we looking for? Are we going to play maybe some older,
Yeah.
music in the earlier part of the reception? So those who wants to get that slow dance in, they can go ahead and do that. And then as the reception goes on, then we can, adjust the music accordingly.
All right, we still got 7 more minutes left. So, what other things do you want to talk about? What should be left off the list or on the list, depending how you're gonna reword that?
Actually, as far as the list of music is concerned, I would say anything that you wouldn't, if your parents are attending, you definitely don't want to play something. You want it to be clean. So we definitely want all clean versions of music. So that way, you're being respectful if you have your parents or your grandparents or elders attending your wedding as well. I would say the entry music is now a lot of the bridal party, they're entering just all together. They're not doing the whole call your name one by one type of thing anymore. So a lot of them, they'll just say the bridal party. And then they all come into this one particular song that is like a fave. And they kind of have a whole dance session on the dance floor before
Mm-hmm.
the couple is officially announced. So that's also a big thing. But I would say leave any type of music off that you think is going to be offensive and, that's not going to serve you or your guests well.
And let me ask this, are a lot of people still actually doing the weddings the same day as the celebration? I'm seeing a lot of more of people I know that are getting married before and just doing the party. Like it's too much to do all in one day, I believe, to be honest with you.
Well, some people are doing that. We did
Uh-huh.
have a whole residual of that after COVID, where a lot of them said, "Hey, I had to go and just get married," and then now we're just doing the party portion of it. So there are some people who do that. And then for some cultural weddings, they have days of wedding where they do certain formalities before hand, and then they have the party, the so-called wedding day itself.
Got it. And also I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, you offer so many different beautiful packages and, offerings from the full service to down the line of you do month of, right? You don't do day of, right? That's just
Now,
way too
well, I
crazy.
do, yeah, month of, day of is like, there is
Yeah,
really no way to do that. We need to get up to speed as to what the couple's been doing prior to, so that way when we get there on the day of, we are the expert for sure.
perfect. And do you want to discuss, some of the hands-on work that you do? Because I know there's different packages on the site from the opulent to the luxe, the posh. Give us some details on them.
Yeah, so some of the hands-on things we do, of course, full planning would be your A to Z. That's, us helping you from the beginning all the way up until the end of the wedding day. And then we have those couples who start planning and they get a little overwhelmed. So that's where our partial planning comes in, where we're able to jump in and just help them continue the planning and then be with them throughout the wedding day. And then, as you just mentioned, the month of coordination, which is often called day of coordination. And, couples will see this when they go to different venues. You need a day of coordinator. But there's really no such thing. We can't just show up on the day of your wedding and start planning and working through logistics. So often we usually call it month of coordination, where we have an opportunity to check in with them, find out what they've been doing, get up to speed on who the vendors are, what venue they're going to be at. And then, we're able to devise a strategic plan to make sure everything goes smooth on the day of the wedding.
Got it. All right. And what else do you want to make sure? We still have 5 minutes left in the show, sweetheart.
Okay. So, I would say that just photos in general, make sure, I mean, everybody's got a phone these days. So
Hmm.
just make sure you're getting professional pictures done. I understand that, we got all these different types of phones that can do all these different things
I
these
know,
days.
but still not as good as the real thing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's still not as good as the real thing. And having someone who has that eye that can capture all of the moments, they're not going to miss
Yeah.
your moment because they're doing something else, they're focused on you for the day. I think that that is super important. And then, some couples are opting to do an unplug ceremony also, where they don't necessarily want their guests filming or taking photos with their phones. during the ceremony because they just want that to be a time that's intimate and sacred. And then they've already paid a lot of money to hire a photographer and a videographer to do that. So they don't want to have that photo where you've got the iPhone or the Android that's there in the picture, that's being captured, or if you have somebody that's super old school and they've got the whole big iPad in the pictures, while those sacred moments are being captured by your photographer and videographer.
Got it. Thank you for that. And yeah, gosh, there's so much. And everyone gets like a hashtag nowadays too for their wedding, right? Isn't that like the trend with photos?
Yeah, yeah, hashtag. So, and then if they are open to their guests taking pictures and posting them on social media, they will ask them to hashtag whatever that name is, whether it be Thomas 2025, and sometimes they have cute, catchy names that they come up with. And that's typically posted around the ceremony and cocktail hour and reception space so that guests will remember that when they're posting online.
Got it. All right. Well, and how can we reach out to you and contact you for that consultation?
So I can be reached on the web at www.emacevents.com, as well as on all social platforms at Immaculate Events LLC.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you. Always exciting. And I want people to go to that website and check out your work. It's beautiful. Actions, pictures, videos speak louder than words. And I know you're based out of the Orlando area, but you're working with brides and all over, right?
Oh yeah, various places, and we do have a passport, so we can travel. And for those who want to come to Florida and they're planning a destination wedding here, please feel free to reach out to us so we can make sure we take care of you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Great having you, and have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Happy and healthy to you. Okay.
Oh, same to you and your family as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Same here, sweetheart. Bye, everyone.
Okay, take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.